We'll go undercover with the company that have just come up with an absolute brainwave for home buyers. Now, you don't have to wait until you move in to discover the neighbours put the hi-fi on at full blast at 3 in the morning or that milk lorries rumble past the house at dawn. A surveillance team suss everything out for you in advance before you even exchange it. There's only so much you can find out about the home that you're buying before you actually have to move in. It's only once the removal van's driven off that the nightmares maybe start. Next door's dog never stops barking. The pretty patch of grass opposite doubles up as a pub league soccer pitch, and the air turns blue every Sunday morning. I know someone who lives in a house like that. But now a firm of private detectives have had a brainwave. For a fee, they'll put your potential new home under surveillance secretly, and they'll check out any hidden hassles. We joined them yesterday on one assignment.
Council's investigation, how can I help you? When a client comes to us, what they're trying to gain out of it is a general overview of the neighbourhood. And where are you moving to? If you've got, you know, the neighbour from hell, you don't want to find out once you're there, you want to know beforehand, and that's where generally a private investigator will just drive round the block to get a general feel of the place.
Investigation.
Talk to people in the street.
We've got the hassle of the road noise.
Yeah. Hey! See if there are any workmen in the street. See where the shops are.
Investigation.
People like to know what shops they're near, then walk back to the place to see how long it actually takes to walk from A to B. It's just standing back and taking a general look at the bigger picture.
Investigation.
The best bit is the feedback from the actual clients themselves. Thanks so much, that was brilliant. We got a really good overall feel of how life really is in that particular area.
I think it's a fabulous idea. Here are Private Investigator Nigel Parsons and one of his detectives, Marie-Louise McIlvenna. Is that right?
Marie-Louise McIlvenna.
Marie-Louise. Okay,
Marie Antoinette.
Well, it's nice to see you both. Congratulations on a fabulous idea. I would think it would be even more useful for people like we did, moving cities, moving towns. I mean, when we came from Manchester to London, we saw 4 houses in the space of 2 hours, bought the 4th on the spot, and got back on the train to Manchester again. And we had no idea really what the area was like. What kind of things have you found out that, you know, the owners were appalled, or the potential new owners were appalled to hear?
Well, I mean, firstly, 85% of our clients go through and make the purchase. Right. Yeah, with a lovely peace of mind. We've got a few horror stories, though. I mean, one involved a block of flats, which all seemed nice and quiet, and Granny was moving in until one of the people was watching it on a Friday night, and the row started from the top balcony.
All right.
Yeah, in between girlfriend at the top and boyfriend at the bottom. And she drove off, he drove off, clipped a post on the way out. And when we went back and asked, of course, this is regular Friday night event and the regular entertainment.
Right.
So what happened? Did he move? Did he move his mummy into it?
No. Move mummy into somewhere else.
But presumably, so what you do is you sit in. We saw you there. You kind of sit in the car when you keep your eyes and ears open. So you'd know, for example, if there is a dog in the front room of the house next door that never ever stops barking because you'll hear it outside. Do you ever get people? I mean, I know you're very good at sort of blending into the background, but do people ever come up to you and say, "Excuse me, can I help you? What are you doing here?"
I've never had it, no. No one's ever come close to me. And plus, I'm never suspected normally. Right. Because I can still get away with being a media student quite easily.
Is that what you were?
Yeah, so that's what I use.
Do you ever feel a bit sneaky?
Yeah, well, that's half the fun. It is a bit sneaky.
Straight. Have you considered joining a Sunday tabloid? You're doing very well. So, what other stories have you had? Wasn't there something to do with investigating a murder in the house next door?
Well, only in the an address where one of the people was moving to, next door down. Yeah. Next door down, behind and back. There's quite a famous case kicking around in Southampton. And I mean, not that that was a great problem because it was all done and finished, but on the anniversary of this time, the whole media circus just descended on the place.
I think the interesting ones here that, I mean, we got notes on, I mean, you discovered that a vivisectionist was in one road and it caused immense chaos because you had protesters down there.
ALF just turned up once every 3 months.
Animal Liberation Front, and there were disturbances, none of which the people who viewed the house and were preparing to buy it could possibly have known. Car sprayers, another stakeout. It was a hot summer's day and the air suddenly was full of a horrible smell, and you discovered that quite a few residents in this road were running unofficial car spraying units.
Yeah, there was a chap about 4 doors down, he had his whole business running in there.
We had, I remember one of my very first flats actually in Norwich I didn't discover till I'd moved in, that there was some kind of paint factory thing, ancient old thing outside, and the noise and the smell.
It's the smell.
Absolutely dreadful.
None of which you saw when you viewed the place?
No. And it used to operate on Sunday mornings as well, which was just, the pits. Anyway, look, if nobody can find somebody in their kind of area, the area they're moving to, like you, what are the things to bear in mind when you are looking for a house?
Well, I think the thing that most people miss when when you go around with the estate agent and there's a smell of hot bread wafting through the house because it's all very cosy, it's just going out and sitting and thinking. I mean, the senses tell us a lot. There's a lot to be said just from sitting down, some distance away from the house, look and listen, hear what's going on. I mean, and smell. I mean, what we were saying about cellulose and paint spray.
Yeah.
Well, you've given us some tips which Judy and I will rock and roll through. Here it is. There, top 8 tips. Number 1, look all around the house, left, right, opposite. Use your eyes.
Go to the nearest pub.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's where all the activity is.
Just get the local gossip.
Yeah, and get a feel of who's in there. What happens at 11 o'clock at night when they turn up.
See what local people talk about. Talk to the shopkeepers, the milkman, try and catch the postman, and you can see what time he'll be there because you can see the times on the pillar box. Is it a tip?
Just talk to single women on the street. Are they comfortable walking the streets late at night? You wouldn't find that in most places, would you?
No,
I mean,
not at all. I mean, it's where Mary Louise comes in wonderfully. Yeah.
Well, we asked when we were doing it yesterday, we asked a few people what are the crime rates like, because that's obviously very important for people moving in, noise levels and also crime rates.
Right. And also to visit the property on 3 very different times of day and at different times of the week. So you're not just seeing it when it's quiet, but maybe at 5 o'clock, as I said, maybe that's when the milk run starts or whatever. And finally, because these days people selling a house are legally bound to answer questions truthfully, don't hang back from asking questions. Ask about the neighbours, ask all the key questions.
Yeah, because if you've got horrible neighbours, noisy neighbours, and you ask the sellers about it, then you know, they've got to tell you.
There's an obligation to declare.
Right. Because they can be legally held to account after you've bought it if they don't.
And your service costs £310?
£325.
£325. Would you, I mean, you're a detective agency, I think you're the only one in the country who's running this particular system, but I guess somebody, say living in Manchester, could contact the biggest local detective agency and ask them to perform this service. That might be a way through.
I mean, what we're doing is putting our skills into a house move.
Congratulations, great idea.
Thank you.
Good.
That's it. Okay. Right. If you've got any stories about your own house move from hell, things that you wish you'd known before you moved in, do call us on 08703 662266. Or you can text, of course, R&J space and the message to 83188, or email us, richardandjudy@channel4.co.uk, and if we get some good stories, we'll read them out before the end of the show.
Okay.